Karen ripped off my heart monitor, said it was a toy for her kids. The hospital room smelled of antiseptic and despair, but something felt off the moment she walked in. I was 24, tethered to a heart monitor that beeped like a lifeline, each pulse a reminder of the cardiomyopathy that had stolen my strength. My name's Eli, and I'd been in St. Mary's for 2 weeks, waiting for a transplant that might never come. The nurses were kind, the doctors cautious, but Karen was a storm in human form, and I didn't know it until she tore my world apart. It started innocently enough. Karen was the sister of my roommate, Mrs. Clara, a sweet elderly woman recovering from a stroke. Clara and I had bonded over late-night talks, her stories of raising kids in the 70s a welcome distraction from my reality. Karen, though, visited with the subtlety of a wrecking ball. She'd barge in, loud and brash, her 2 kids trailing behind like reluctant shadows. I didn't mind at first hospitals or lonely, and her kids, Mia and Jake, were curious, asking about the machines keeping me alive. I'd smile, explain the heart monitor in simple terms, and watch their eyes widen. Karen, though, never paid attention. She'd scroll her phone, snap selfies with Clara, and complain about the hospital's Wi-Fi. "This place is a dump," she'd say, oblivious to Clara's wince or my clenched jaw. The tension brewed slowly, like a pot left too long on the stove. Karen's visits grew more frequent, her entitlement more blatant. She'd rearrange Clara's pillows without asking, demand extra blankets from nurses, and once borrowed my bedside fan because her kids were hot. I let it slide. My energy was better spent surviving than arguing. But I noticed the nurses' tight smiles, the way Clara's eyes dimmed when Karen arrived. I started to see her for what she was, a woman who thrived on control, who saw everyone else's needs as inconveniences. It was a Tuesday when the pot boiled over. I'd had a rough night, my heart rate spiked, and the doctors adjusted my meds, leaving me exhausted. The heart monitor was my anchor, its steady beep the only thing keeping panic at bay. Karen showed up at noon, kids in tow, her voice slicing through the room's quiet. "Clara, you look awful. Why haven't they fixed you yet?" she said, tossing her purse on my bed. I bit my tongue, focusing on the monitor's rhythm. Mia, the younger kid, wandered over, pointing at the wires snaking from my chest. "What's that?" she asked. I smiled weakly. "It helps the doctors watch my heart." Karen snorted from across the room. "Looks like a toy. Bet it's not even that important." I froze. The words stung, but I brushed them off. She was ignorant, not malicious, right wrong. An hour later, while Clara napped and I drifted in a haze of fatigue, Karen's kids grew restless. Jake whined. Mia tugged at her mom's sleeve, and Karen snapped. "Go play with something." Her eyes landed on my heart monitor. Before I could process it, she strode over, her manicured nails hovering over the machine. "This thing's just sitting here," she muttered, yanking the sensor pads off my chest. The monitor screeched, a flatline wail that jolted me upright. "What are you doing?" I gasped, my chest burning where the pads had been. Karen didn't flinch. "Calm down. It's not a big deal. My kids need something to do." She tossed the pads to Mia, who giggled and waved them like streamers. Jake grabbed the monitor's cord, tugging until the screen flickered. My heart pounded, not just from fear but from rage. "That's not a toy," I shouted, my voice cracking. "It's keeping me alive." Karen rolled her eyes. "Oh, please, you're fine. Stop being dramatic." The monitor's alarm blared louder, and my vision blurred as my pulse raced, unmoored without the machine's guidance. The room spun into chaos. Nurses rushed in, their faces a mix of panic and fury. "What happened?" one demanded, shoving past Karen to reattach the pads. My chest heaved, each breath a struggle. Clara woke, her frail voice trembling. "Karen, what did you do?" Karen stood there, arms crossed, unfazed. "It's just a machine. He's not dying." The nurses worked frantically, recalibrating the monitor, but the damage was done. The screen glitched, wires dangled, and my trust in the world shattered. I looked at Karen, her smug indifference a knife in my gut, and something in me snapped. "You think this is a game?" I said, my voice low but shaking. "You think my life is your kid's playground?" Karen scoffed. But I didn't stop. "You waltz in here, treat everyone like props, and now you've broken the one thing keeping me stable. Do you even care?" The room went silent, save for the monitor's erratic beeps. Mia dropped the pads, her eyes wide. Jake hid behind his mom. Clara's hand gripped the bedsheet, her face pale. Karen opened her mouth, but I cut her off. "You're not just thoughtless, you're dangerous." The nurses escorted Karen out, her protests echoing down the hall. "This is ridiculous. I'm Clara's family." But Clara's tearful gaze told a different story. The room settled, but the air felt heavy, like the aftermath of a storm. The monitor was repaired, but my sense of safety wasn't. I lay there, replaying Karen's smirk, her casual cruelty. How could someone be so blind to others' pain? I didn't know it then, but her reckoning was coming. The next day, Clara shared the truth. Karen wasn't just a nuisance. She'd been exploiting Clara for years, draining her savings, neglecting her care. The hospital incident was the final straw. Clara, with a strength I hadn't seen before, called her lawyer. She cut Karen off, redirecting her inheritance to a charity for heart patients. When Karen returned, expecting to bully her way back into Clara's good graces, she was met with security. "You're not welcome here," the guard said, and Karen's face crumpled. Not with remorse, but with shock. She'd lost control, and it hit her like a freight train. But the real justice came later. A nurse, fed up with Karen's antics, had recorded the heart monitor incident on her phone. The video spread online, tagged "Wonder Karen Chaos." It showed everything: Karen's flippant dismissal, the broken monitor, my trembling rage. The internet did what it does best: amplified the truth. Karen's name became synonymous with entitlement. Her employer, a local real estate firm, fired her after clients recognized her in the video. Her kids' school, flooded with complaints, asked her to withdraw them. Mia and Jake, caught in the fallout, were sent to live with their dad, who'd long since distanced himself from Karen's toxicity. I saw Karen one last time, months later, outside a coffee shop. I was stronger then, a new heart beating in my chest, a transplant I almost didn't live to see. She looked smaller, her confidence gone, her eyes darting like she expected judgment from every passerby. She spotted me and froze. "Eli," she started, her voice thin. "I didn't mean." I raised a hand. "You don't get to explain. You don't get to apologize. Live with it." I walked away, my heart monitors beep a distant memory, but the weight of her actions, hers to carry forever. Clara and I stayed in touch. She moved to a care facility, her spirit lighter without Karen's shadow. The charity she funded helped patients like me, turning her pain into purpose. As for me, I learned something through the haze of that hospital room. Some people break things: monitors, trust, lives, because they can't see beyond themselves. But the world has a way of balancing the scales. Karen's chaos cost her everything, and in its wake, I found a strength I didn't know I had. My heart, scarred but steady, kept beating. Hers, I'm not sure she ever had one.